This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Today we'll do an assignment. So first I'll just explain it. Later on I'll give you time to note it down. Okay? Or you can take a snap either of the thing. Okay? So here I have purchase. I have 4 quarters. For 4 quarters the prices are here. Okay? And sales also have prices. Okay? So how do you arrive at gross profit? How to calculate gross profit?
Sales minus purchase.
Okay, so now you have information in which cell. Sales is in which cell?
B5.
B5.
Ah, so minus.
B5 minus B4.
So if I type equal to, always formula should commence with an equal sign, equals B5 minus B4. So you're going to arrive at the gross profit. I need not calculate for each and every cell. So you can go to the cell where you have got the gross profit, that is in B6 cell, and you can just double click. If not, you can use freehand tool and you can drag it this side. So formula is copied to all other cells. Okay. So here if you go to this C6 cell, automatically the cell reference has been changed. That is C5 minus C4. Okay, that is sales minus purchase. If your sales value is less than purchase, then what is the value it's going to show you?
Ma'am, could you
It'll
repeat?
show a negative amount.
It will show you a negative amount. Now see, sales, I have given sales amount as 32,610. I'll change this to 20,000. Now it's going to show you negative value. So more than means purchase is more, sales is less. So it's going to show you negative gross profit. Okay. So I can undo it to change it back. Okay. Always sales should be more than your purchase. Then you'll get a positive value. Now here you have to calculate these things. So you have calculated gross profit for 4 quarters. Now you have to calculate freight. Okay. Freight is calculated 2% on purchase. So purchase is in which cell?
B4
B4. So what I should do now?
is equal to B4 into 20%.
2%.
2%, sorry.
Uh, B4 into, you type 2% directly. Percentage sign if you mention, I need not divide by 100. Okay. So if you don't mention percentage sign, I should use divided by 100. Okay. Now you have got the freight value for B8 cell. Now using fill hand, you drag it. Formula is copied to rest of the cells. And if you go to that cell reference automatically it will change. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
next you have handling. Handling is 1.5% on purchase. Now what I am supposed to do?
B4 into 1.5%.
So B4 into 1.5%. Using fill hand, drag it. So formula is copied to rest of the cells. Next you have miscellaneous expenses. So miscellaneous expenses should be 1% on purchase. So now what I'm supposed to do?
B4 into 1%.
So
B4 into
always,
1.
yeah. So always formula should commence with an equal sign, equal to B4. You have the purchase value into 1%. Okay. Using fill hand, drag it. Formula is copied to rest of the cells. Clear?
Yes.
Is it next? Legal
Yes, ma'am.
fees. Legal fees is being given by them. Okay, I need not type the legal fees. Now I have to calculate the total expenses. Total expenses. So how do I calculate total expenses?
B8 plus B9 plus B10 plus B11.
Okay. Instead of that, which is the function I can use? In the home
Sum.
tab already you have come
Sum
across one
function.
Sum.
function, sum function.
Sum.
So you have a function called as sum equal to sum. So you have to mention the cell reference. So your cell reference commences from
B8.
B8 to 2 means you should put colon. Okay. B8 to B8 to
11.
B11. Okay. Close the bracket. So now you got the total expenses. Go to that cell using fill hand, drag it. Formula is copied to rest of the cells. Now I want to find total profit. So what is the formula to find total profit?
Gross
What
profit
is,
minus total expenses.
yeah, it's going to give you the total profit. Okay. So gross profit is in which cell?
B6.
B6
B6.
B6. So equal to B6
minus
minus
B12.
Minus
B12.
12.
So now you have got your total profit. So again using fill hand, drag it. Formula is copied to all the cells. Now, any doubts in this?
Ma'am,
No,
are we
ma'am.
supposed to do it along with you?
What, ma'am?
Are we supposed to work it
Once
along with you?
you can take a snap and you can do it later. Have you understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You can take a snap, right? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Ma'am, did you type all these things, ma'am? Purchase, sales, gross profit?
Yes, ma. I'll just show it once again. So now
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have the heading in which cell? You have the heading in which cell, ma?
A1.
A1. Now I want this heading to be centered for these columns. Quarter 4 where it is?
We
Merge
need to
Quarter
center.
4
from
is
A1 to E1 and then merge and
uh,
center.
yeah. So you have typed the heading in A1 cell, select the range up to E1, you click on merge and center. Okay. Same way, sales analysis, you type it in A2 cell, select the range and you click on merge and center. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll just, so you can take a snap of it and you can do it later, right? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, note 6 is not properly seen.
One second, ma. One second. Okay, ma. First, you take a snap till here because I'm not able to get this. Now you can take it. You have taken a snap.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, is graph been taught in the previous session?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, what is graph?
It's a pictorial representation.
Of your data. Okay. So, you can just make a note. So, chart is nothing but chart means pictorial representation. So, pictorial representation of data is known as chart. So, you have 2D chart and 3D chart. That is two-dimensional and three-dimensional. So, in 2D, you have X and Y axis. In 3D, you have X, Y, and Z axis. So, in 2D, you can't rotate the chart. Here, we can rotate the chart. Okay. You can make a note or you can take a pic. Once you have taken it, you can just let me know. Is it over?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can close this window.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I want to get this chart for gross profit. So here I have this questions. So you have calculated the gross profit for 4 quarters. Calculate uh, freight, handling, miscellaneous expenses, then calculate total expenses. Then you have to calculate the total profit. Then you have to create a graph for purchase, sales, and gross profit. So one more graph you have to uh, create for gross profit, total expenses, and total profit. So I'll just show it once again. So gross profit is your sales and purchase. That is sales minus purchase. So using fill hand drag it, formula is copied to rest of the cells. So freight is 2% equal to purchase into 2%. Using fill hand drag it. Then handling is 1.5% on purchase. So using fill hand, drag it. Then miscellaneous expenses, it is 1% on purchase. Then total expenses, you are using the function sum of B8 to B11. Only the total expenses you are finding the sum, and then using fill hand drag it. Next you have total profit. Total profit is gross profit minus total expenses. So gross profit is in B6 cell minus total expenses. Using fill hand, drag it. Okay. Now I want to get the chart for purchase, sales, and gross profit. You select purchase, sales, and gross profit. So you select purchase, sales, and gross profit. Your range is A4 to E6. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you can go for insert. You can select any chart. I am going for this bar chart. Either 2D, this is 2D, and this is your 3D. Okay. So you can select the graph. Now graph is displayed in the same worksheet. Okay. Once you have inserted the chart, you can see here you have two more tabs available. One is design tab and one is format tab. So here what you can do is you can select the chart style. So you have different chart styles here. You can choose the chart style. You can switch row to column like this. Select data. Again, if you want to select any other data, it can be selected from here. If you want this chart type to be changed, click on chart type. Now it is bar graph. If you want to change that to line chart, select line chart. You can see the changes. Again, click here. So if you want to change this to area chart, so again if you want to change back to bar chart only, so you can select it. Clear? If you want to give a chart title, you can click here. You can type it. Okay. Now your chart is displayed in the same worksheet. If you want this chart to be displayed in a separate worksheet, what I can do is I can click on this move chart. Okay, and if you want any color changes to be made, you can select from here. Okay, if you right click, format chart area. So I want you to try out all these things. Okay, if you want to fill the color, see, if you want to change, you can select it here. Okay,
Ma'am, can you please repeat this step? How to change the color?
you can go for this, right click on the chart, right click on the chart area. Then you can try out all these things. One is you can change the chart type. Okay, you can select the data, you can move the chart. Now I want to move this chart to a separate sheet. Now you are in sheet 1, right? I want this chart to be moved before sheet 1. I'll click on move chart. So it's going to show you, you want it in a separate sheet. I'll select I want it in a new sheet. I'll click on OK. Now your data is present in sheet 1 and your chart is appearing before your data, that is before sheet 1. Clear? Again, if you want to move it back, again you can click here, move chart object in sheet 1. You want to bring it back to sheet 1. See, you have brought it back to the same sheet. You are able to see the data as well as the chart. So you have here, what is this? Legends. If you want to format the legend, go for format legend. Now it is showing you in the top. So if you want it in the bottom or in the left or in the right, you can see the legends. Okay, so all these changes can be done. So if you want to change the color, you can right click. Here you have format chart area. You can go for this. So you can try it out with this fill. So it is no fill, solid fill, gradient fill, picture or text fill, pattern fill. So I want you people to try it out. Again, we will come back to this chart later. For this example, I have to insert even chart. So I am showing you this. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now I have to insert one more chart. For what? Create a bar graph comparing gross profit, total expenses, and total profit. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting gross profit. See, if I have to prepare a chart for this, I can directly select. But now I have to select gross profit, total expenses, and total profit. See, it will get deselected. If I select this and if I select this, the first gross profit will get deselected. So what I'm supposed to do is first select this row, hold the control key, and then select these two rows also. Okay, now what happened? Are you understanding? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'm supposed to do? First select the row and then press the control key and then select these two rows. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Then again go for insert. You can select bar chart, whether you want 2D or 3D, you can select it. If you want this to be in a separate sheet, move the chart to new sheet. Clear? Later on, all these changes can be done. Again, you can right click, so you can try out with all these options.
Ma'am, could
Is
you
that
show that
okay?
again? How did you select them?
select this row first. Other two rows, I have to hold the shift key, I have to hold the control key and then select it. So hold the control key and select these two rows. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
Can I go to the next topic? Yes or
Yes,
no?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, yesterday what video you have done, ma'am? You have not sent in WhatsApp group.
Oh, you're sending the data, is it? Okay, ma. Like, I'll check it out by tomorrow.
Ma'am, they
Is that
just
okay?
share the recording of the meeting, ma'am.
What, ma?
Ma'am, they share the recording of the meeting.
Have I not shared?
Ma'am, yesterday's you have not shared, ma'am. 10th August. It is showing like 9th August.
Is it? So I'll see to that after the class it will be done, ma.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now, yesterday I had given you data validation. I have told you about data validation, filtering, sort, subtotal. So on that you have one assignment. You will try it or I want you want me to show it?
We'll try it, ma'am.
We'll try.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
You can take a pic of this
Ma'am, could you
Ma'am,
share
can you
the
share
workbook?
this?
once again. Uh, hello. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Any one of you, can you give me your WhatsApp number, ma?
Yes.
Tell me, ma.
Ma'am, shall I
Tell
send
me
it through the chat?
once again. You just tell me, ma.
95
95
131
131
66
66
331.
331. Okay, 95131 66 331. So if I share
Yes.
it to this number, can you circulate to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. So I'll do that after the class, ma. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, ma.
Ma'am, could you show us how to do this?
But you people told I will do it by yourself. You want me to show means I'll show. If you want to try, you can try. What you will do?
Ma'am, we'll try. If you have any doubt, we'll ask you in the next session.
Okay. So you have taken a pic of this? Oh, I'll be sending these details in the WhatsApp. Okay. This also I'll be sending. Okay. Okay. So whatever I have told in the previous session, that is on data validation, filter, advanced filter, subtotal, on all those things I have the assignments. So wherein you can try it out apart from whatever I have taught in the previous classes. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll go for this trace precedent. For this trace precedent, what I'm going to do is means how the cells are dependent on other cells. So I can come to know about it by using this trace precedent and trace dependence. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I have some values here. Now how do I get the total row wise?
A1 plus B1.
Either you can use a1 plus b1. If not, I can use the function sum of a1 to b1. Okay. Now using fill hand, I just double click there. It's going to be copied to rest of the cells. If not, you need to use fill hand and drag it. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
cell reference will change for each of the cells. Okay, see here it is showing you B2 to A2 to B2. Here it is showing you A3 to B3. Here it is showing you A4 to B4. Now I want to find the total column wise. How do I find the total column wise?
Ma'am, equal to sum.
Is equal to sum. Your cell reference commences from
C1 to C4.
C1 to C4. Okay, so now how did you arrive at this 565? How did you arrive at the value 565?
Ma'am, it's the total of the C column.
Okay. And how did you arrive at C1?
It is
Total of
the
A1 and
sum of
B1.
A1 plus
B1.
B1.
A1 plus B1. So what I'm going to do is I'll be in C5 cell where I have got the total value column wise. I'll click on this trace precedent. This trace precedent option is present under formula tab. Under formula tab, I have trace precedents. If I click on this, you can see one arrow mark. So it is showing you by adding this values, you have arrived at this total value. Clear? Once more, if you click on it, so by adding these values, you have arrived at this value. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, I
ma'am.
have a doubt.
Elma.
Uh, Ma'am, can you explain how you got 146, 125, 106?
So I'll remove this from arrows. See, you have typed the function. Function is sum. Your value commences from A1 to B1. Instead of typing for each and every cell formula, using fill hand, you can drag it to arrive at this values. And when you go to that C2 cell, it is showing you the cell reference, that is B2 to C2. By adding these two values, you have arrived at this total.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, in C5, you have some value, right? In C5, do you have any value?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
It is the
ma'am.
sum. It is the sum of C1 to C4. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is equal to C5. In this cell, I will add 100 to that. What will be the value now?
665.
665. Okay. Again, in some other cell, what I'm going to do is equal to C5 minus 300. Okay. So 565 minus 300. That value is going to display here. Again, in some other cell, equal to C5 multiplied by 2. You have got some value. Again, in this cell, equal to C5 divided by 4. So using this cell reference, in this cell you have done addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes,
Have you?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I should be in the cell where I have arrived at the total value column wise. Now I'll go for formula tab, click on trace precedent, as well as click on trace dependence. Trace dependence means all these cells are dependent on this cell. So A7 is dependent on which cell?
C5.
A7 is dependent on C5,
C5.
and B8 is dependent on
ഇത് V നിങ്ങൾ എടുത്ത് വെയ്നി എനിക്ക് എപ്പോഴും അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കുന്നു.
mute. Are you clear with this trace precedent and dependence?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you
Yes,
explain
ma'am.
trace dependence again?
So you have this arrow, remove arrow. You can remove trace precedence. You can remove trace dependence, or directly you can click on remove all. All the arrows are removed. So what I'm doing is, in C column, you have got the total value column wise, right? Yes
Yes,
or no?
ma'am.
In some other cell, what I'm doing, using this cell reference, in C5 you have some value, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
can be any, it can be any of the cells.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm showing you example. C5 has got some value. I'm depending on that cell. Okay, in C5 I have some value. I'm adding 500 to that cell. At existing value plus 500. So you have arrived at some value. Again, using the cell
Yes, ma'am.
reference, you're adding, you're subtracting, you're multiplying and dividing. Okay,
Yes,
is
ma'am.
this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now you should be in the cell where you have got the total value column wise, because these cells are dependent on that cell, and the above values also, this value is dependent on this above value. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you click on trace precedent. Now it is showing you by adding C1 to C4, you have arrived at 565. Once more, if you click on trace precedent, by adding 98 and 90, you have arrived at 188. Clear? Now,
Yes.
dependence. If I click on trace dependent, so all these cells are dependent on C5 cell. Now, if you want to see the formula, click on show formula. So, it is showing you the formula. Sum of A1 to B1. And in these cells, it is not showing you the total value. It is showing you the formula. So again, click on it once again. If you want to remove the arrows, you can click on remove all arrows. Any doubts in this trace precedent, trace dependent?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now I have name, subject 1, subject 2. I have total, average. Now, how do I find the sum? How do I find the sum?
Equals
Sum
equal to
sum of
Sum of
B1 to B2 to
B2,
C2. 2 to
B2
C2.
to C2. This is one method. This is one method. Using fill hand, you can drag it or you can double click on that. So formula is copied to rest of the cells. Okay. So how do I find the average? You have come
equal
across
to
equal to
average
Average of
average of same cell
D2.
reference B2 to
B2
C2.
to C2.
Okay. This is one method. Now what is happening in each and every cell? The cell reference is changing, right? Cell reference is changing, right?
Yes,
Here
ma'am.
it
Yes, ma'am.
each and every cell reference is changing. Here it is showing you B5 to C5, B4 to C4, B3 to C3. Okay. This is one method. One more method is I can type equal to B2 plus C2. Then also you are going to get the same output. Here also cell reference will change. Yes or no? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now to find the average, it is total divided by number of subject equal to total is in which cell? D2.
D2.
B2.
Two.
How many subjects you have?
5.
2.
4. 2.
Two.
Two subjects. Two subject. D2 divided by 2. Clear? Two subjects you have here, right? So D2 divided by 2. So it's going to show you the average. This is another method. First method is you are using the function. Second method, I can use B2 plus C2. And for average, it is total divided by number of subject. So one more method you have. that is equal to 90 plus 94. Now if I drag it, what happens? If I drag it, what happens? If I use fill hand, what is going to display?
It will
180.
automatically display the
Total.
number, ma'am.
What will happen?
All the other answers will appear.
The other answers won't appear because we have added the number and not the cells.
Yes. Okay. So this usually we don't do it because I need to key in the values each and every time. Okay. So usually I'll go for sum function or average function, or I can use the cell reference. I'll not add with the values because I need to key in for each and every cell. Now I don't want my cell reference to keep changing for each and every cell when I find the total or the average. I want this heading to be displayed in each and every cell when I'm finding the sum or the average. Clear? I don't want
Yes,
my
ma'am.
I don't want my cell reference to keep changing for every cell. I want my formula to be remain constant for all the cells. So what I'm going to do is I have this name, subject 1, subject 2, total and average. Don't You don't have any total and average here. What I'm doing is you should select the range from A1 to E5. Clear? A1 to E5. Don't find the total and average. First, select the range from A1 to E5. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now go to formula. Here you click on create from selection. Okay, the function key is control plus shift plus F3. Okay, you can go for create from selection. Here only it is showing you the tooltip. So it's going to automatically generate the names for the selected cells. So create from selection, what it does, it will generate the names for the selected cells. Is it clear? Respond. Please
Yes,
respond.
Ma'am,
ma'am.
please tell it once again.
Ma'am.
I don't want to change my formula for each and every cell. See, if I add this value, see for every cell, the cell reference is changing, right? Here it is showing you B3 plus C3, B4 plus C4, B5 plus C5. Here again, equal to total divided by number of subjects. Every cell reference is changed. Here it is D3 divided by 2. Here it is D4 divided by 2. D5 divided by 2. Understood? Respond.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
I don't want my cell reference to keep changing for every cell. I want my formula to be constant. So what I am doing, I have name, subject 1, subject 2, total and average. So I am highlighting this range. I'll go to formula, click on create from selection. When I click on create from selection, it's going to generate names for the selected cells. I'll click on create from selection. So I have heading. Where is the heading present? Where is the heading present in my data?
A1,
On
B1,
top.
C1.
D1, E1. That is in the top row, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have heading only in the top row. In the left column, I don't have any heading. So I will remove this option, left column. I have to create names only for the top row. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'll click
Yes,
on
ma'am.
OK. Don't select left column. I want to create name only for the top row, which contains the heading. I'll click on OK. Now in the cell, now see earlier, before creating names, use in formula option was not active. Now use in formula option is active. Okay. So you can select the name what you have created for your formula. So I can click on this use in formula. See, names, it's been created. So I'll select subject 1. So it is showing you the range. Plus, again you select subject 2. Now if you go to that cell and if you drag it, formula is copied to rest of the cells. Now cell reference will not change for every cell, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So how do I find the average? Okay, total, how do you do it?
Equal
I need not do equals. Where I have to go now?
use in formula.
Create from
Use in
selections.
use in formula. Now names is created. Next step is I should go to use in formula. Then
Subject
select
1.
Subject 1.
uh, include plus sign. Okay. Again use in formula. Select subject 2.
Subject 2.
Yeah. Now using fill hand drag it. So formula remains constant. Formula is what? Your heading. That is subject 1 plus subject 2. Clear?
Ma'am, even if you use the enter key, the same thing happens, or are we supposed to use only the fill hand?
Enter key. I didn't get you.
When you press on enter, the values come down, right?
You can click on this plus sign. It's going to be repeated for
Okay.
all the cells. It's going to generate for all the cells. Now for average, what you're supposed to do? Go to use in
Go to
formula.
use in,
Then
click on average.
why? I have to
No,
find average, right?
total.
Average
Yes,
is
Total.
my
ma'am.
heading. Uh,
Total.
Go to
Total.
total and divide it
Then
by 2.
By
divided.
2.
Now go to that cell. Click on this. Automatically, it's going to generate for other cells. Clear? Any doubts?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
Ma'am, can you
ma'am.
repeat it again?
Average.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want to find the average. So average, how do you find? On the basis of total. So go to the cell, use in formula, select the heading total. Total divided by number of subject. Using fill hand, you can drag it or you can double click there. It's going to generate for rest of the cells. Any doubts on this?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Understood? Okay. So you try it with functions using AutoSum function, using cell reference, and using values, as well as you can use create from selection. 4 methods. You try with all these. Clear?
Ma'am, could you repeat the names of the four methods again?
One is using AutoSum function. Next one is you're using the cell reference, right? That is B2 plus C2. Next one is you're using the value 90 plus 94. And the fourth one is create from selection. That is, you are adding through the headings. In the top row, you have the names. So using that names, you're finding the total and average. Because you want the formula to remain constant for all the cells. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
How to find selling price? How to find selling price? No one is there, huh? Not audible. Am I not reachable to you
It is
people?
It's audible, ma'am.
cost
Then
price plus profit.
It's
cost price
cost
plus
price plus
profit. What
profit.
what it's going to show you?
Selling price.
Selling price, ma'am.
Cost price into profit will show you only the profit value.
Cost price plus
No,
profit.
ma'am. Cost price plus profit.
Cost price into profit plus cost price is going to give you the selling price. So I have cost price, I have profit, I have to find selling price. Cost price, say it is 5,000, 2% profit. Now if I say, how do I calculate? Cost price is in which cell? B1. B1 into B2. What will happen? It's going to show you only the profit value. On 5,000, 2% is 100 rupees. So I have to add even the cost price plus B1. So now what is the value it's going to show you? It has to show me 5,100. Understood?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
Could you repeat, ma'am?
You want to find selling price. Cost price into profit will give you only the profit value. I want to add that to my cost price. So now total value will be 5,100, isn't it? My selling price will be 5,100, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone,
Yes, ma'am.
you want
Yes,
me to
ma'am.
repeat once more?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Uh,
Now, what? You want me to repeat? Yes or no?
ma'am.
You want me to repeat? Okay. Next is, how do I find monthly salary, daily salary, hourly salary, annual salary? You have monthly salary, I have daily salary, hourly salary, annual salary. So monthly salary is say 20,000. So daily salary will be, how is it calculated?
20,000 by 30.
Huh?
Ma'am, the like is equal to A2
Hmm.
divided by 30.
Divided by
30. Depending on the month. If it's a 30 days month, then 30. If it's a 31 days month, 31.
okay. Now hourly salary.
A2 into 24.
B2 divided by 24.
A2
Ma'am, how
divided by
did you
30.
do the daily salary?
Daily salary is A2 divided by 30 will give you daily salary. Now hourly salary is A2 divided by 30 divided by 12. This is my hourly salary.
Ma'am,
Annual
can
salary is,
instead of doing A2 divided by 30 divided by 24, can we do it directly as B2 divided by 24?
I want you to do all possibilities
Okay.
and cross check. Cross check. How do you cross check? Hmm? I want to cross check. 667. If I multiply or divide, I should get the total. How do you do that? I want you to do all possibilities and tell me now. How do you do annual salary?
A2
Ma'am,
into
A
12.
12.
A
A2 into 12.
A2 into 12. Now how do I cross check? Huh? Equal to B2 into what? Into 30. It's going to show you 20,000. If you cross check, you're getting the same value. Same way, I want you to try it out. I'll just get back 2 minutes. Okay? You people keep trying this. I'll just get back 2 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, how did she do the hourly salaries?
A2 divided by 30 divided by 12.
Into 12, right?
No,
Because they have given monthly, so to get annual, it should be into 12.
no, did she ask hourly or annual?
She asked annually, if I'm not wrong.
I asked hourly and annual both.
Hourly is A2 divided by 30 divided by 12, and annually would be A2 into 12.
Thank you.
Excuse me, but how did your decimal answers become the whole number answer?
Under home tab, you have under general, you have the reducing decimal.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you tried? Have you tried it out?
Yes, ma'am.
Hourly salary. If you cross check, you should get the same value. How do you check? You didn't check. I've given you one example here for daily salary. Same way, hourly salary.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Ma'am, I didn't know how to change from the decimals to the whole number.
So what you have to do is select that cell which you have where you have decimal. In the home tab, you have this decrease decimal. See, now I have increased the decimal. You click on decrease decimal so that you will get only the whole number.
Okay, ma'am.
Clear? Okay. Any doubts? I've given you time. Even then, you didn't tell me. Okay. How do you calculate GST? What is GST?
Goods and service tax.
Service
Good,
tax.
goods and service tax. So, types of GST? Types of GST.
I guess three types of GST are there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Which are those?
Integrated, state,
Uh, uh,
central, and there's one more as union territory.
okay. Now, if I know my total amount, I want to know my basic price. They have given me only the total amount, but I have to find out my basic price. Is GST taught in your curriculum?
No,
In your
mom.
okay, you have different GST rates, right? 5%, 12, 18, 28.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll just do an example on this GST. So 20,000 is my total amount. Okay, so I have to know the basic price. So I want to calculate GST for 12%. So in that you have CGST and SGST, and then I have to get the net amount. So how do I calculate this? In Excel, equal to, in B1 you have the total amount is equal to B1 divided by 112. It is 12%, right? You should include 112 divided by 100.
Can you repeat?
Once again, 112 multiplied by 100. So you will get to know the basic price. So I know the total amount, but I want to know my basic price. So basic price will be on your total amount. That is total amount divided by 112 multiplied by 100 will give you the basic price. Now if I want to find CGST, so that will be equal to B2 into 6%. Okay, if you want to remove the decimal, decrease decimal, again equal to B2 into 6%. Now if you add all these values, you will arrive at the same total value. That is your total amount. Net amount will be 20,000. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if the percent is 5, that in that case what you will do? What will be your basic price? How do you calculate?
B1 into
B1 divided by
if
105 into 100.
Yes. So if it is 18%,
B1 divided by 118 into 100.
18 multiplied by 100. Clear? Same way for 28. Okay. So you can try it out with this. For IGST, directly you can type 12% or 18% or 5%. You can try it out. Understood? If you want to take a clip, you can take a pic of this.
How did you find net amount?
You are adding this above values, that is from B2 to B4. If you add these three, that is your basic price plus CGST and SGST, you will arrive at the net amount. If they tell you 20,000 is my amount, inclusive of that only is your basic price. How do you calculate? Means this is a procedure how you need to calculate. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we will stop the session here. We'll continue in the next class.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Bye,
Thank you, ma'am.
everyone.
Ma'am, what about the video, ma'am? You'll send it tomorrow, no, ma'am?
Yes, ma.
Ma'am, even the assignment.
Yes, ma. I'll be sending you.
Thank you,
So,
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
okay, ma.
you,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, ma.